진짜 크지? 와, 위에 상추 뿌렸어. 상추 먹나봐. 상추 먹고 있어. 보여? 보고 있다. 메나티가 저렇게 크구나. 엄마도 메나티라고 생각 못해서 저 모든 물질한테.
Mire mamá la chiquitito.
아가야, 아가. 얘나, 아가 귀엽다. 두 마리야. 저기 언니다. 얘나 동생이. 얘나 여기 있어. 그거 뭐야? 우와.
Bajita asomado.
와, 진짜 커. 뭘 아는 말이네? 다 있잖아. 안 찬가 봐. No? Korean. Yeah. 그래? 생긴 거는 바닷고기 같은 물고기 꼬리거든. 그치? 너무 눈물이 있다. 엄마 메나티 처음 봤어. 실제로. 쟤 진짜 커. 그러게, 쟤는 왜 팔도 없어? 아, 물고기인가? 그치?
She's just more like in the building. She showed me around. Yeah. This little tuft like on his neck, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, it's the big one.
Whoa.
I found that.
But you'll see like one pretty friend. And I'm like, but it's necessary. They're good at territory. I think they're like there's some dummy eggs out here already. That way. So through years of planning and talking with them as well, they put like the eggs out so those parents don't. If there are survival eggs also because there's like a couple that will just be like not warm it up. But yeah, there might be.
Esse boi da flor.
I haven't been in the back to see the back.
Sometimes they get injured and they couldn't survive. Like they might be missing a big end. Like this one might be in but it may be missing on the right side.
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly big too.
SeaWorld Orlando. My name's Mom, and I'm part of the rescue team here. And right in front of you guys is our manatee exhibit. Now I want to welcome you guys to a very happy Thanksgiving. And I know a lot of people have their mind about food today, so I'm going to start off by talking a bit about that. In front of you guys, these manatees will eat a huge amount of lettuce. And so, in the natural wild, they'll be eating seagrass, and they'll be eating a lot of that grazing material. They'll be eating quite constantly. But because we have them here, that means we gotta feed them about 48 boxes of lettuce for all of our manatees in a single day. And that's 24 heads of lettuce per box. So you can imagine that's a huge amount of lettuce that we go through every single day. And in front of you, we also have a few different types of spinach and kale, and sometimes we use iceberg lettuce. They have a wide variety of nutrients that they can get. And you can see that we have some different size manatees here. Our largest girl is Sarah, and I'll be talking about her a little bit later. And then our smallest here is Cypher. He's coming up right here, munching on some lettuce right over there by that rock. And Cypher is at the age where he's actually getting weaned off of his bottles. So when they come in, sometimes we have really small manatees that are orphaned. We'll get a call, and when they're out in the wild and they don't have their mom, they really need to be intaking a lot of those high nutrients that they'd otherwise be getting from their milk. And so when we come in here, we supplement them with a veterinary recommended manatee milk formula, and that's based off of human milk, formula, and then we also supplement it with a high amount of fats and oils, because naturally manatee milk has a really high fat content. And since these guys are herbivores, we don't supplement that with naturally fish oils, which is what some other mammals in the park might be getting. Instead, we supplement it with sustainably sourced palm oils and different nut oils. Welcome on over, you guys. This is the 11:30 keeper talk. And so, when they first come in and they're really small, they'll be getting round-the-clock care, and they'll be getting bottles up to every single hour.
Oh, it's a manatee.
But then as they get older and older, we'll slowly be weaning them down, and they'll start eating more lettuce, and they'll getting that up to just a straight animal.
Oh, there's a bunch of them down here,
instead.
Kristen.
And then also, when we bring in our manatees, sometimes they can be very dehydrated, and so we'll supplement them with a kids-like formula, and then also we might give them what I like to call a protein smoothie, which is blended up milky pellets actually, because that has a really nice amount of sugars and protein, and then we'll also give them like spinach and some of that electrolytes to want to make sure that they
Stand straight, be careful,
nice
okay?
good meal at first before they get acclimated to where they are. What's in front of you here is our manatee exhibit, and then what's behind me are these two, what we call vegetables. And these tools are pretty cool. They have false bottom floors, which means that if we ever need to get in there with the water and work on our manatees, either for veterinary procedures or to check them on over, we can actually lift that floor all the way up to the top. And so we raise the floor all the way to the top of the water level, rather than having to drain the pool, which is a little bit easier on these guys. And now, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we're very thankful for all of the staff that we work with here. We have some of our rescue team members who are about to see them, but we also have a really awesome veterinary staff that's very involved, and they're able to come on out whenever we want because they're actually located in our parks. So if we ever need anything, especially because some of these guys, most of these guys are rescues due to some injuries, then we'll be able to take care of them very closely. We also work very closely with the Florida government, because these guys are property of the Florida government. And so what that means is that we'll get a call from FWC, which is known as Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. That's also known as animal control sometimes if you guys ever need any help. And look at them go. This one right back here, that's Sarah. She's munching. And so we'll get a call, and they'll let us know if there's a stranded manatee, if there's a manatee that's in need of any sort of help, and we'll actually take our boats and our trucks, and we'll go all the way up to where that manatee is located, and help assess the situation, and then bring them on back here to SeaWorld Orlando and give them the quality care that they need in order to make sure that they're able to be successfully rehabilitated. Some of those fancy tools that we have are those boats that have, instead of the propeller all the way in the back of the boat, it's actually centered in the middle of the boat to help us take in those manatees a little bit easier and safer. The number one reason that we ever have to take in manatees is actually due to humans. Manatees in the wild don't have any natural predators. And so what that means is that their biggest predator is us humans. These guys are commonly found with either photo stripes or they're radiating hardly breaking that surface of water, surface tension, and so they can be really hard to see. I know that sometimes when the sun is really bright, it's super hard for people to see the manatees all around the exhibit. What we also want to do is normally put all of our fishing netting and fishing lines in those proper recyclables that you see right behind me. So that way they don't get into our natural waterways and they don't get caught where we don't want them, which is inside or on our manatees. And then some of the other things that we want to just always be aware of is that now that it's a little bit colder and that the temperature is dropping, these guys can go into what's called cold stress. So naturally, manatees are able to travel both in salt and in fresh water, and they'll travel around to wherever the water exceeds their temperature best. During the summertime, you guys might see them in the ocean a little bit more. And during the winter, you guys are probably going to see them in our natural stress here in Florida, which right here is around 72 degrees. We keep them at that same temperature, so everything is just as good as down in the wild. I like to think that our water's a little bit cleaner than out in the wild because we have a great team of water quality here
W
as
lecie
well.
one bardziej są na otwartym oceanie,
But
w
sometimes we're
zimie
out there
trochę
stuck
cieplejsze
in a
wody
location
poszukują
because the
sobie
tide is
brzegu.
up and they can't get back out to warmer waters, or suddenly we get a really cold front. These mammals can go into what's called cold stress. And we might see that a big uptick in that around this time is because that can happen. But that also sometimes happens when manatees go out of their natural range and go far up. You guys might have seen on the news, we even had to take manatees all the way from North Carolina this past weekend. You had you're talking with FWC and other local animal control and local wildlife resources. And they called us up, and so we drove all the way from here from Orlando all the way up to North Carolina to help manatees that were in need. And so that was really awesome that we were able to do that with all of our resources here, and this was our fantastic team members that we're very thankful for. But then what that also means is that when these guys are set to return, which is again determined not by us, but determined by our vet staff and in conjunction with the local governments that they are naturally from. So in this case, in Florida, that would be with FWC, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. We'll be returning those manatees all the way back up to where we got them originally. So they're in their natural waterways, they're in the places that they're a little bit more familiar with, and they might even be able to go back to their natural populations as well.
크로코딜. 마마, 크로코딜.
Some of the other reasons that we need to work really closely with FWC is that we need to make sure these animals are fit to be returned. And so we want to make sure they're in tip-top shape, they're able to dive really deep down in these exhibits, or they're able to forage for food like you can see right in front of you. The reason that we have some of our smaller ones with our larger ones is that these larger mamas are actually teaching our orphans to naturally find all of that food, dive deep down, and then they're also
Czyli te duże uczą te małe sieroty, jak sobie poradzić. Że mają kilka tych dużych, które są takimi tymi wychowawcami. Babka pani nagrywa, wiesz?
But other than that, I'll just talk one last moment about Sarah right here, right in front of me. She's our largest manatee in this exhibit. She's 3,200 pounds, and she's named Sarah after Sarasota. That's originally where she was found in the 80s. She's currently 32 years old, and she was found orphaned, which again just means that she didn't have her mom around, and there wasn't anybody there who could help take care of her. And so when she was brought in all the way back then, we didn't know that we could successfully rehabilitate our mammals to be returned back into the wild. And so she was deemed as what FWC calls non-releasable. That just means that at that time she was unable to fit for return. At this point, she is called conditionally non-releasable, which just means that FWC has determined that she is such a good mom to all of our orphans, and she's so good at teaching all of our orphans how to become nice big strong manatees. We're able to forage, we're able
Julia,
to
look
dive
at the
and
little
everything
baby.
like that she is better fit teaching more of our orphans. And at a later time, if they deem
Julia,
she's
no.
discernible, then we'll be happy to have her right back in her natural waterways, and we'll be very proud of her. But other than that, she's been a really great mom to so many of our manatees here. Otherwise, we have more manatees that are in the back. We have them separated so that way they don't have the opportunity to breed. So we have some males, we have some females. And then we also have some of our sea turtles back there. But if you guys come at a different time for our sea turtle keeper talk, you can hear more about them then. Again, I wanted to thank you guys for having a very happy Thanksgiving and for visiting SeaWorld Orlando. I can be out in the front answering some more questions for you guys. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great holiday.